scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. Nothing but dark waters that direction. Getting a little blue around the edges. We're underwater. We're not on the moon. See any hint of that octopus swimming around here?
No, but I can smell them.
See any hint of that octopus swimming around here?
No, but I can smell them.
There are some more lights off this way. Gladys, I'm gonna sneak inside and look for Mitchie.
What if that octopus comes back while you're gone?
Poke him in the eye and steal his sub.
Stupid octopus.
Tim had the coolest office.
He did.
It was filled with like tiki lights, and it felt like it was like Christmas land. Not Christmassy, but it gave you that same feeling of decoration and hominess.
Yeah, I was gonna say warmth. Yeah, hominess. There's a couch in there, which was always nice.
Yep, and I think I probably overstayed my welcome in there a few times.
Yeah,
I think we all probably did.
You never knew when you should leave because it was so much fun in there. But then it's like, oh man, he has work to do.
Yeah, it's no wonder he had to work through the night. It's because
we'd bother him all the time.
His office was like going to Disneyland, and you just sit in there and talk on the couch and just want to be a part of this this creation.
I had some old game consoles in there, and I would go and talk classic games with him because he knew that I was an enthusiast as well. So that was fun.
I think he should have made his office more boring.
He did spend a lot of time in that office.
How's his office now?
I've seen pictures. I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's like a grown-up version of that office, maybe. He's still got all his Rubik's Cubes on his desk.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I forgot he was a master of the Rubik's Cube.
He is.
Really?
Yes. Don't challenge him.
Well, I would never.
Tim had the coolest office.
He did.
It was filled with like tiki lights, and it felt like it was like Christmas land. Not Christmassy, but it gave you that same feeling of decoration and hominess.
Yeah, I was gonna say warmth. Yeah, hominess. There's a couch in there, which was always nice.
Yep, and I think I probably overstayed my welcome in there a few times.
Yeah,
I think we all probably did.
You never knew when you should leave because it was so much fun in there. But then it's like, oh man, he has work to do.
Yeah, it's no wonder he had to work through the night. It's because
we'd bother him all the time.
His office was like going to Disneyland, and you just sit in there and talk on the couch and just want to be a part of this this creation.
I had some old game consoles in there, and I would go and talk classic games with him because he knew that I was an enthusiast as well. So that was fun.
I think he should have made his office more boring.
He did spend a lot of time in that office.
How's his office now?
I've seen pictures. I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's like a grown-up version of that office, maybe. He's still got all his Rubik's Cubes on his desk.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I forgot he was a master of the Rubik's Cube.
He is.
Really?
Yes. Don't challenge him.
Well, I would never.
The new airlock keeps out water, but not pesky skeletons. This pathway seems to follow the base of the island. This pathway seems to follow the base of the island. Nothing but dark waters that direction. Getting a little blue around the edges. Nothing but dark. There are some more lights off this way. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them.
One of the things with Manny's head and the look at stuff was that really meant that you couldn't put a lot of inventory items very close to each other, or it limited the number of things in a room, because even though you could toggle through and he would look at things kind of in sequence, it could get tricky on if you put like 3 things on a table. Is he looking at thing number 1, thing number 2, or thing number 3? So that was an interesting thing, because Lucas was known for these adventure games with very dense, lots of things to click on in the screen, and you really couldn't do that here. but the game doesn't really feel lacking for it.
I feel like that's filled in with dialogue. I mean ultimately, you'd have those hunt the pixel games. You have a million things, and you'd have to have one line for each thing. And with this one, it's more like there are fewer things, but there's more to say about each one, or more context, or Manny kind of thinking to himself about things. It's a little more ruminating. So I think it adds to the character just in terms of how much you kind of understand Manny or empathize with him.
I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. Not picking that up. Lay down your tools. We're busting out of here. Man, if I had only gotten that book back from Terry, I could really... I'll bet all these miners were brought here by... Well, at least it didn't eat them. Lay down your tools. We're busting out of here. Man, if I had only gotten that book back from Terry, I could really start some trouble here. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least... Lay down your tools. We're busting out of here. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. I don't know how I'd get down there without this current taking me over the edge.
One thing that was a little weird on animating all this underwater stuff, when you animated a little section like Manny jumping off the conveyor belt or climbing up a chain or getting dragged along by a boat or whatever, you would always try to add that element of the physics of being underwater.
Yeah.
And then seeing the harsh contrast of when you're back in interactive mode and we're still using the same animation of him walking above water. It was hard for an animator to get over that. These little things you can't let go of.
You would have had to do a whole new set of anims.
Yes. And the other thing is, like, that may not have been the thing that would have stopped something like that. It could have even been like, there would be too much code required to switch a system or something. Like, who knows what the reason was.
Uh-oh. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's not going to be as easy to climb up.
So that chain that's holding the ship, at one point we had to add joints to that because I think at one point it's animated and it kept crashing and we couldn't figure out why, and we eventually figured out that you couldn't have more than 99 joints in a rig in Softimage at that point, and it had like 100 joints or something.
No, but again, it's this funny thing when people, maybe see this stuff and they think of movies now that maybe look better, but we were having to deal with a lot of limitations.
I'm actually really, really excited to see the remastered version because, you look at elements of this game that was made over 15 years ago, and visually it still kind of holds up to games that you can see today. So, curious about what it's going to look like after the Double Fine gets finished with it. Yeah. I think it'd be pretty special.
That's not going to be as easy to climb up.
this is where people nowadays would be like, Tim, the ideas you have here about this conveyor belt where you can switch directions and rip a chain with a scoop, it's really complicated, and we could eliminate a lot of work if we just cut this one puzzle. But this is like, no, we went all the way and we fully implemented exactly what I hoped would happen. The conveyor belt would reverse direction, chain would go up and down, Manny would climb down and against the force of water, bunch up the chain. This is all so complicated. Oh, and you create a little loop. I was like, this all makes sense in my mind, so the player will be able to figure this out. Like the way that you looped it over that boat. I don't even know if that would work. That's like when you whip a hose to like get it uncaught when you're watering the plants in the backyard and your hose gets caught.
Right, yeah, do a little whiplash effect, yeah.
Es enorme.
So one of the things that was another technical problem that was really interesting was the save load, because I wanted to cut a bunch of corners on save load to just make it a little easier to implement. And we had talked about things like you could only save and load, or when you load, it would load at the beginning of a room and back up content a little bit, or just do it where it was a little bit more convenient. And Tim really wanted a really high fidelity save load. And I remember trying to talk him out of it, and he threw the gauntlet down, and he was like, if Manny's in the middle of a line and there's a puff of smoke hanging in the air, and I hit save, when he restores, he should pick up from the middle of that line where he was at, and that puff of smoke should be in the air. And I was like, all right, man, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And it was a big pain. It took a lot of work to get it there. But that's the way the game shipped, and that's kind of, with controls and things like that. Tim was pretty uncompromising and had a vision of what he wanted this thing to be. And as much as we were able, we gave him what he wanted.
Es enorme. I would, but my back.
So this whole environment, I think, was worked on around the end of the game, and we had to bring a few other artists on at the end in order to get it all done.
Yeah. No, and then I kind of remember that towards the end, because it was just like a skeleton crew, because I think just the budget had gotten so big that I just remember Pete and a few other people working on it for a couple months or something.
Yeah.
While all of us had to move on to other projects.
All that water is running in the Rebel Salt engine. The game is running in the Jedi Knight engine, and the
oh, that's right.
all the streamed videos from the Rebel Assault engine.
That is right.
So we're compositing the Rebel Assault technology on top of Jedi Knight technology, and then all the Lua scripting for the gameplay. Is that what comprised the Grime engine, which we never actually called the Grime engine at the time, but Brett wanted to call it the Grime engine. It's like
that's
Grim.
funny.
And in later, he's been able to do enough interviews where he's called it the Grime engine that people just call it the Grime engine. Now that's fine. It should have a name.
Everything should.
Es enorme. Ooh, I would, but my back is enorme. They must bring the core over here to be crushed. Either that or these are the biggest, meanest looking hair curlers I've ever seen.
Those look like my sister's curling iron.
I was just going to say,
like,
those things always scared me. They are truly terrifying.
the
Those
curling iron
grinder.
things?
No,
Oh, the grinders.
The grinders. The curling irons, to a lesser degree.
Those are based on my sister's curling iron. No, you don't call them curling irons. Curlers. Based on my
Curlers,
sister's curlers.
right.
And my terrible fear of curlers.
They're fearsome things.
I don't have the strength to rip them out. Those things are dangerous. They must bring the core over. Either that or these are the big... Those things are dangerous. I'd be ground to bits.
The animation team was very green, and we're lucky to work under people like Pete and some other senior folks on the team, like Eric Ingerson and Mark Hamer. We came out of school learning traditionally 2D animation and probably had about a month or two of work on Monkey Island 3, I think, which was still semi-traditional. And then this was our first kind of interaction with 3D and computers, and we struggled and watched Eric do the most complex things you could imagine.
It was all very new. And I think we had a couple of consulting sessions. This was back when we were still kind of connected to ILM, and so we had Kyle Balda, was a LucasArts alum and at the time worked at ILM. He came over and gave us some 3D pointers at a couple of points. We had some special private sessions.
This goop looks heavier than my last ship.
I can't even imagine what was going through his head at this point, because just the size of this game, being able to absorb it all before it's realized.
And he always had a really good idea of where we were and what was going on.
Yep.
And we were talking earlier about how there really wasn't a schedule that I remember, an art schedule for this game. It almost seemed like we just all sort of chose tasks, and then we had Leslie sort of following up to make sure we were doing them in about as much time as they should take, or not getting bogged down or stuck.
It's not a handheld device. It's not a handheld device. It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. I don't have a long enough lever. I could jump, but the odds of me hitting that boat are pretty slim. It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. The edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. Es enorme. convenient. How convenient. This old conveyor belt looks like it's about to fall apart. Not picking that up. Es enorme. Uh-oh. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's as close. That's as close to the edge as that's not going to be as easy to climb up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nothing but dark water. Is that getting a little blue? See any hint of that?
No, I can...
This door's locked. This door's locked. This door's locked. The new airlock keeps out water, but not pesky skeletons. Don't know what's down here. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
Are the three stripes on the back of Manny's head, is that hair?
No, it's just a lazy design element to match the front of his head.
Oh, and the tops of his hands, remember? There's
Yeah.
little
It's
stripes
just
on there,
the
too.
Day of the Dead decorations, right?
Yeah.
I never knew what it was. I just thought it was cool.
It's an Adidas homage.
what's down here. Not picking that up. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it. I only steal ashtrays from bars. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it. It's empty.
Yeah, so people, a lot of people may know this already, but for those that don't, the game is just a big pre-rendered picture. There's no 3D geometry in the game that describes the walls and the doors and the tables and all of the props that are in the game. That's just a picture, a painting that's drawn in the background. So somebody had to go in manually and kind of make what we call walk boxes, but they're in 3D space. They're like a little model that just describes in 3D space where Manny's allowed to walk. And if you turn the background off, they just look like they're floating in space. There's nothing there, and there's boxes for walking, there's boxes for shadows, there's boxes for triggers that trigger like footstep sounds and things like that. But yeah, the image you see on the screen when you're playing the game, there is no real geometry there. So getting the illusion that Manny can walk in between tables and bounce off of walls and things like that is all smoke and mirrors.
It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. Man, that ashtray's so... It's empty. Children's books. Children's books. It's locked. It's locked. Children's books. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade. It's empty. I wonder where this door goes. Meche.
Manny, what are you doing here?
I wanted to see how your trip was going, Angel. I am your travel agent, you know. By the way, thanks for that bottle of champagne you sent me. It really hit the spot.
You were headed for a trap. I was trying to warn you. Domino was using me like bait. I didn't want you to end up a prisoner here like me.
Prisoner? Where's your cell? Or are you just sharing a bunk with the warden?
If that's what you think of me, then why did you come here?
Because this is where he belongs. Here, working for me. I knew you'd come around eventually. Right or wrong, Manuel Calavera is always with the winning team, right, Manny? That's why you're here now.
I'm getting off this rock, and I'm taking all of these people with me.
Manny, there's no way off this island. I'm afraid you're stuck here in my little executive training program. See, I need you to take my place here, kid. I've got to get back to the city where the action is.
Sorry, Manny, but I had to come in. My skin was getting all pruny.
Him, I don't need.
I'm gonna grind you to powder for that, cabrón.
Maybe later. But for now, let me just show you your new office.
Careful, BB. The new boss is waking up.
I always thought those girls are so cute. I just had to be mean to them. Like once when my sister got her tonsils taken out, she had big puffy cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my aunt came to visit and she goes, "Oh, you look so cute. I just want to be mean to you." I never really understood it until we had these little baby angels in the game. I just want to just terrorize them so you can get out your scythe and scare them and do all these horrible things.
It's the Mr. Bill and it's the Mr. Hands in all of us.
I like my old desk better. Not moving any furniture today. No drawers. I like my old desk better. I like my old desk better. This is sad.
Angelitos is actually the little children in the cage. Comes from a term that it was a popular kind of well, it was traditional in Mexico to take pictures of your children even if they were died very young.
Yes.
Like photography of little dead
it's a
children
whole
in a coffin.
genre. Yeah, it's.
I don't know if that
really-
happened in the States, but it was definitely in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, I've seen those pics. I think you showed them to me actually.
And the word they use for children when they're young when they die is angelitos.
Oh yeah.
It's a dark game.
It is dark.
Really, really sad. I'd like to pick them up and give them a big hug, but I'm scared to reach in there. Hola, angelitos.
I'll bite you, I swear to God!
Please don't bite anyone else, Pugsy. That's why they put us in the cage in the first place.
You bite me and I'll sue your parents.
Our parents?
Hey, don't cry, children. Please, stop crying. Why am I so bad at this? Why do you want to bite me?
You're the mean new boss.
Mr. Hurley said you were meaner than him.
He said you had a bone saw.
What are you two doing in this cage?
Making light bulbs.
Look, we're working as hard as we can. Why don't you leave us alone?
My name is Manny Calavera. What's yours?
Mr. Hurley told us about you. You're the one who tricked Meche.
Poor Meche.
I didn't trick anybody.
Mr. Hurley said he was supposed to take care of Meche, but you stole her case from him.
Is that true?
Mitch is my friend. You can ask her.
She talked about you before.
Every time she says your name, she looks so sad.
I don't know what you did to her, but you're gonna be sorry.
Let me see if I can explain this whole thing to you. You see, I had this job, selling travel packages to immigrant souls. If I sold enough of them, I got to leave the land of the dead. Now, I was in a slump, and I really needed a fat commission, so...
You're a bad man.
Go away, bad man.
Yeah, go away.
I'm the one who's gonna take Meche out of here.
What?
You can't do that.
Who's gonna take care of us? We'll be all alone.
Nice cage you have here.
Mr. Hurley grew demon ravens with human heads in here.
He said if we ever tried to get away, he'd send the ravens after us.
And let them make nests out of our bones.
Listen, children, I'm here to help.
There's really not much more room in here.
Your hands are too big to make light bulbs.
My hands are not too big to make light bulbs.
Then why don't you help?
I just don't have any of those little tiny tools, that's all.
Here, take my hammer.
You're two bad little children. I'm glad you're in a cage. Very bad. You know, I really do want to help.
Then why don't you?
My butt's too big to sit on one of those little perches.
I'm gonna tell Meche you said that word to us.
I told you he was bad.
I'm in the Maritime Union. We can't do factory work.
I don't know what those words mean.
It means he doesn't want to help us because he's mean.
On second thought, maybe I don't.
We don't want to either, but we don't have a choice.
I'm here to help you get out of this cage.
You can't do that. We have to stay here and take care of Meche.
She'd be so sad here all alone. Sometimes we hear her crying, you know.
You children just wait here and be brave little angelitos, okay?
Okay.
Really, really sad. I'd like to pick them up and give them a big hug, but I'm scared to reach in there. How are my brave little soldiers?
Are you here to rescue us?
I'm working on it. You children just wait here and be brave little angelitos, okay?
Okay.
Not here. I like my old desk better. This is the tiniest little hammer I've ever seen. This is the tiniest little hammer I've ever seen. This is the tiniest little hammer I've ever seen. Not right now. I like my old desk better. That's the way out. Really, really sad. Really, really sad. That's the way out. Really, I'd like to pick them up and give them a big... That's the way out. I like my old desk better. I don't really want to... This is the tiny... Here, take my hammer.
Tap, tap, no backs.
The new airlock keeps out water, but not pesky skeletons. This is Mitch's office door.
Oh, look, it's my Prince Charming. Are you back here just to insult me some more, or do you just want some ice for your head?
Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
Once you got used to the sooty aftertaste, you'd feel like a king.
See, I like that you still are not quite sure about Meche.
That happens a lot in those noir movies.
Totally. It's like just like
the woman is like, wait, is
Casablanca.
she in leagues with a bad guy, or is she being controlled and being blackmailed by the bad guy?
Yes. A testament to the fact that they're written by men.
Nervous laughter.
I like the new dress.
Well, it's the best I could pull together out here. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get decent fabric and silk stockings on a deserted factory island on the edge of the world?
No, I don't. I don't think she's in the mood for that right now. Come on, we're getting out of here.
Trying to steal my commission from Domino again. Manny, don't you ever give up?
I'm not after any commission. I just want to get us both out of here.
Then why don't you just ask your boss for the day off?
Can't believe you think he's my boss. He's my arch enemy.
I think he's your boss. You think he's my boyfriend. We don't seem to have a good foundation of trust in our relationship, do we?
I'm sorry I implied he was your boyfriend. I do trust you.
Well, I'm not sure I trust you about that, but I'll tell you one thing that would convince me.
Name it.
Give me your gun.
What? What makes you think I have a gun?
You work for the most heavily armed organization in the land of the dead. Don't try to tell me they didn't issue you a gun.
I don't work for the most heavily armed organization anywhere.
You know, you're right. There are those rumors of that Revolutionary Army that's been stockpiling weapons.
Actually, them, I work for.
Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to deal straight with me, okay?
Hey, about that gun.
Ready to hand over your heater?
I would if I had one.
Right.
They didn't issue me a gun.
What, are you on probation? I'm not buying this, Manuel. Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to deal straight with me, okay?
Hey, about that gun.
Ready to hand over your heater?
I would if I had one.
Right.
I think we need to talk.
Start talking. You're the salesman.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
Me? About what?
So why did you run out of my office?
I felt so embarrassed, and you looked so disappointed in me. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Why are those children locked up in a cage?
With the wings those angelitos have, they're the only things on this island Domino can't control.
Why are you working for Domino?
I do what he asks only to protect the children.
Then what were you doing that whole year I was in Rubacava?
I was lost.
What did you...
I don't want to talk about that year, please.
Why did you take me out with that champagne bottle?
I told you to stop you from falling into Domino's trap. If you had made it on that ship, then you would have ended up...
Here?
Yes.
Has Domino hurt you in any way?
Not as much as I've hurt him. Boy, can that guy take a punch.
Hey, if they can fly, let's set the kids free to go get help.
They can't fly that far, Manny. But they can fly circles around Domino, and they can bite pretty hard.
Okay, I'll lay off the questions.
Great. Now if we could get you to just lay off the cologne.
Hey, I'm a sailor now. We have to wear this stuff. I have a lot of explaining to do.
Save your breath. Domino's explained it all to me already.
Listen, Meche.
Manny, talking isn't helping right now, okay?
Hey, about that gun.
Ready to hand over your heater?
I would if I had one.
Right.
Listen, Meche.
Manny, talking isn't helping right now, okay?
That's how this whole mess got started in the first place. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade.
Ow! Oh, my stockings! They're ruined! And this was my best pair! You try to have one nice thing on this cruel island.
I love the pulling the stocking down and the of the leg bone being sexy. That's
our one
awesome.
cover image.
Yeah.
It was on a magazine, PC Games magazine.
Oh yeah, I
image?
remember that. Yeah.
But what is that from? This is definitely a reference to Popeye.
And also, go ahead and scratch, right?
Let's go ahead and scratch.
And when Humphrey Bogart in Maltese Falcon, Big Sleep, Humphrey Bogart is meeting. Lauren Bacall comes into his office and she sits on his desk and she crosses her legs and she's scratching her knee, and the camera is showing you this from a interesting angle, right? And then she sees that he's looking at her scratching her knee, and she covers her knee with her dress. He says, "Go ahead and scratch," right?
Scratch. I was thinking more of Popeye. Olive oil falls into cement, and she steps out of cement, and everyone's whistling at her because she has shapely legs. And the cement falls away, and she has olive oil legs.
Oh, I forgot that.
That's what I always think of when I think of the scene.
There it is.
Man, that ashtray's so...
Once you got used to the sooty app...
Hey, about that gun.
Ready to hand over your heater?
I would if I had one.
Right.
Listen, Meche.
Manny, talking isn't helping right now, okay?
Good enough for me.
What is?
Oh, the speed at which you're working.
That's nice, Manny, but you're not my boss, so really I couldn't care less.
Good. Excellent. Carry on. You know, a little clear nail polish would fix these right up. These are too nice for that. That gesture might confuse her. It confuses me. Children's books.
I like to read to the angelitos. It reminds me of better times.
I don't read children's books. These are too nice for that. That's the...
Sir, do you have an appointment?
I'm going in there to tell Domino my demands.
I don't think you fully understand the chain of command around here. Pugsy and BB work for you. You and I work for Domino, who works for Hector Le Mans, crime boss of El Maro.
Well, I think it's time for a little corporate restructuring. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape.
You can't hear what he's listening. What is Domino listening to on his headphones in your mind?
Oh, it's not just what is. We actually have him listening. He's listening to his own theme, and it's done as a headphone. We didn't mix it so it would sound like headphones. It's very quiet, but he's listening to his own music.
He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. Not picking that up. Domino.
I was going to say about the music where he reveals the whole big conspiracy theory. That was a jam between the cello player and the contrabass clarinet player.
Oh yeah.
Basically, the idea was that since it's a whole complicated conspiracy, that they would just jam and jam forever on the same theme, kind of weaving it out.
Mm-hmm.
You killed my best friend.
The demon? Manny, you can use a demon as a driver. Let him carry your messages, let him serve you food. But you can't ever start thinking of them as friends. It's just not natural.
Why don't you just sprout me like you tried at Puerto Zapato?
That wasn't me. That was Hector. He's so unimaginative. Just wants to tie up the loose ends, you know? But I believe, however, that you can be rehabilitated through honest work.
What makes you think I'm gonna work for you?
Well, there's not much to do on this island if you don't work, take it from me. And think about it. Once I'm gone, it will be just you and Meche alone on this deserted island. Don't tell me that prospect doesn't appeal to you.
What are you doing out here on the edge of the world?
Oh, I know. I ask myself that every day. But I'm going to train you, Manny, to take my place here running this 2-bit light bulb factory.
You and Hector set up a secret hideout to make light bulbs?
Oh, no, that's just a side benefit. The real purpose is to have a place we can lock up all those old clients of mine. Can't have good people wandering loose in the land of the dead, telling everybody how we stole their double-in tickets, now can we?
You stole all these people's tickets?
Okay, how much of this haven't you figured out, Calavera? Kripal would route all the good clients to me after he switched over their tickets to a secret holding fund. I'd cover up the paper trail, and we'd make sure that the pigeon jumped overboard at the Pearl.
I knew it! You were getting all the good clients.
I handled them all, except for Mercedes, who you hijacked from me in that ridiculous hot rod, which I saw, by the way, last time I was in Rubacava. I tell you, Manny, hot rods like that just don't look safe to me.
So it wasn't my fault Meche didn't get a ticket. You stole it.
Well, it's your fault she ended up in the forest instead of coming here right away, but I fixed that.
How can you keep little children in a cage?
Trust me, it's easier than keeping big kids in a cage.
One ticket for you, one for Hector. How many more do you need?
Oh, Manny. We never touch the product ourselves. We sell a ticket to unfortunate souls, unable to lead moral lives because of the crippling amount of cash they were born into.
But you could just take the tickets and leave today.
We found a way to make the land of the dead livable. Why would we want to leave?
Nice island you got here.
Yeah, the previous owners didn't know what they had here. Let us pick it up for a song. They scooped out all the coral they could reach with their crane and then abandoned the plant. But we knew we had what it would take to go the extra distance to the big reef.
Are you about to lecture me about the winning attitude again?
No! Slave labor, Manny. That's the real ticket to success.
I don't plan to be on this island for very long.
Manny, I have all the guns, I have all the transportation, and I have all the brains. What are you gonna do?
I'm taking Meche out of this dungeon.
Manny, before I found her, she spent a year out there in the petrified forest alone because of you. By comparison, I'd say I'm keeping her pretty comfortable here in my dungeon. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I gotta get back to trying to escape.
Hey, you do that, kid. Knock yourself out.
He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. Not picking that up. I've got nothing to say to him. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape.
Please put that away. Thank you. Please put that. Okay, you can take out the tiny hammer if you want.
Nah, his calves are way too boxy. No, I don't think I could take his laughter a second time.
That too. Thank you.
He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. No, I don't think I could take his laughter a second time.
That too. Thank you.
He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. Man, that ashtray's so
Once you...
Hey, about that gun.
Ready?
I would... Listen.
Manny, talking isn't helping right now, okay?
Really, really sad. Not here. I'm sorry, kids, but these stockings are all that's left of our poor Meche.
What?
Hey, I was just kidding.
Wasn't funny.
I'm sorry, kids.
What?
Wasn't funny.
I'm sorry.
What?
Hey,
Wasn't funny.
really, you know, a little clear nail polish would... Really sad. That's the way... Really sad. That's the way out. I like my old desk better. I like my old desk better. I like my old desk better. That's really sad. Really sad. Reed, that's the way out. The new airlock keeps out water, but not pesky skeletons. Nothing but dark waters that direction. Nothing but dark waters that... There are some more lights off this way.
Freaking. Ooh, to the moon, he says.
I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. Chipito seems a little overpowered by his choice.
Why, I oughta...
That was Glottis's job.
Reciprocating chisel. This scene is kind of actually right out of the Fountainhead. This really, I think is it Gary Cooper or someone like that. He's doing this super manly, like drilling into this wall, and the love interest of it comes over and like is watching him getting all aroused in a kind of a 1930s kind of way. And she's so mad. She's not riding her horse, and she slaps her riding car up onto her leg to show her frustration. It's this hilarious scene. But for some reason, I really like this jackhammer that he's just going into this wall with. And so it's here, and it's very similar erotic content here between Manny and Chipito.
Yeah, it's like I can see the brotherly love.
That was Glottis's job. Chipito!
Huh? Who? Oh, you, is it? Why, I oughta... Look at my eyebrows.
Well, you really weren't standing in a very safe place.
Well, neither are you right now, amigo.
That tool looks a little overpowered for you.
Overpowered? Nothing overpowers Chipito.
If you say so. Nice drill.
Drill? This here is a cordless, high-speed reciprocating chisel. And look, it's a bust-all. They usually don't give these to the new guys.
Relax, we're busting out of here soon.
We are done traveling together. I work solo, my friend, and I walk alone.
How'd you get a bus stop?
I'm connected, plugged in, and I had some booty to trade. Trade's the name of the game out here in the Big Reef.
Booty? Where'd you get booty?
It's all over the ocean floor. Jewelry, precious coins. You people and your fancy boats never know about it, 'cause you just never stop and look.
Give me some booty and I'll buy our way out of here.
I traded it all for this beauty.
You traded jewelry and precious coins for a power tool?
It's a bust-all.
I want to trade something.
Well, you came to the right place, sonny. What you be needing?
A hug?
Nope. That's the one thing I ain't got for you.
A towel?
Hey, you funny guy, chalkhead.
My friend Glottis to be alive.
What? What happened?
He went over the edge.
Oh, stay away from the edge, I tell you. It's dangerous. I seen whole ships go over it in my time. Their engines in full reverse, trying to drop anchor. But the current, you can't fight her. So stay back.
A boat.
There you go again with the boats. You know I don't like them. Why do you have to needle me?
A drink.
Ha! We're swimming in the biggest drink there is. Drinks aren't a hot commodity down here. Sorry.
A gun.
Ooh, that's gonna cost some. What do you got on you?
I think it's some form of blue-green algae.
Ah, don't worry, you get used to it. When you got something worth trading, come see old Chipito. He'll do you right.
Geppetto!
Huh? Who? What? Well, I got a long day.
Please, bust away.
Stupid chisel.
Geppetto!
Huh? Who? What? Well, I got a long day.
Please, bust away.
Why, I oughta. Stupid chisel. Why, I oughta. Ooh. Get that away from me. I got my own tools, thank you.
Yo, Vito, have you ever seen an authentic little chipper?
A little chipper? No, I haven't. But I'd sure love to give it a test drive. Say, little chipper, you're okay.
It's a bus doll.
La-dee-da-dee-da-da.
It's a bus doll.
Ah, sweet Mary.
Hey, Cheppy, check out the hosiery.
Say, these are real silk. Where'd you find them?
I've been wearing them the whole time.
You too? Well then, here's your new best friend.
Ah, my first Sproutella gun. Is it loaded?
No. Hey, bullets are hard to get.
Ah, my first Sproutella gun.
La-dee-da-dee-da-da. Just me and little la-dee-da. Oh, doo-doo, good. Oh, Virginia.
I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them.
Da-dee-da-da.
I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. That path leads back to where we landed. There are some more lights off this way. That path leads not picking.
Da-dee-da-da.
This is Mitch's office door. I don't want to bust all that. I think I'd try couples counseling first. Here, what good's a relationship without trust?
True, a relationship without trust is about as empty as a gun without bullets. Guess you didn't realize a smart girl always keeps an extra round in her hat for mad days. Come on, let's go.
Mitchie, you don't know what you're...
I know exactly what I'm doing. Now move!
Would you just listen to my escape plan first?
Trouble in paradise, kids?
You're letting us go right now, or your boy Friday here gets it.
Well, I hate to see you go, Manny, but the lady seems to have made up her mind.
I'm serious. I'll shoot him.
Fine. It really doesn't work for me anyway.
But I thought I'll shoot you then.
No, you won't. You're too good, remember?
I'm not good anymore. You've taken that out of me, keeping me a prisoner here. I'm gonna crack you open like a fake wing vase. I'm gonna...
Kid's all right. She's a firecracker, but a night in the cooler usually dampens her fuse.
He seems complete. Domino!
Hey, sport, how's the escape going?
What did you do with her?
I thought she needed a little
time out, that's all. Well, I gotta get back to trying to escape.
Hey, you do that, kid. Knock yourself out.
He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape.
Please put that away.
Thank you. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat children's books. I don't want to bust all that. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
Domino!
Ooh, I bet I could pick that. If only I hadn't lost my union card in that poker game. Ooh, I bet I could pick that. If only I hadn't lost my union card in that poker game. Not picking that up. Ooh, I bet I could pick that. It must be a combination lock, but there. Ooh, I bet I could pick that. Ooh, I bet I could pick that. If only it must be a combination lock, but there are no numbers on it. Poor Don was never good with numbers.
I'm getting angry! I'm sorry I didn't trust you! I'm in here! Open this door!
I guess I didn't enter the right combination.
BB! Domino, you'd better...
If I bust all the handle, then I'm never gonna get in there.
It's me, Meche! I'm warning you, Domino! Manny!
Must have hit a major circuit. But it looks like I've exposed the guts here. Those are the tumblers of the combination lock. I couldn't get them out. They're on some sort of heavy shaft. I can't move those by hand. I need this wheel. Ooh, I hate that sound. Ooh, I hate that sound. Those tumblers must be made of a harder steel than the outer door. I guess I didn't enter the... Ooh, I hate that sound. I don't want to mess up my blade. I guess I didn't end... I can't move those by hand. I need this wheel. guess I... Stay. All right, Mitchie, you can come out now. Mitchie?
There was a the elevator in my dorm that you could push open while it was moving. You push the gate open and freeze it in between floors and hang out in the elevator for no reason. But there was a little strip of metal up in the corner that the door would plug into when it was closed to know that it was closed. And we tried to get the elevator moving with the door open by sticking our fingers in this thing trying to trigger the little switch. I totally got electrocuted because it was like a live actual electrical current in there instead of
ouch.
So that's where that comes from. that little door closing thing, yeah.
From ill-advised college activities?
Drunken college dorm elevator near-death pranks.
Boy, the bus stall and I really did a number on that door. Not picking that up. Uh-oh. Oh, Raul. I am so sorry. Looks like I messed up these contacts when I broke through with the bus stall. No. Electrical current makes my marrow tingle. No. I already did that from the other side.
Manny, I knew you would... Why is that door closed?
It was the only way the wind?
Oh.
Looks like I messed up these contacts when I broke... I don't think that would shed any light on things. Looks like I messed up these contacts when I... Man, people in the old days were huge. Doesn't look like he'd enjoy a piggyback ride. That thing is definitely not my size. This must be the big chipper. This must be the big chipper.
Hey, this is my room. Go use up the air in your own room.
Looks like years and years of coral harvest reports. This can't be what this secret safe is meant to hold. They're all locked up. These must be very, very sensitive coral harvest reports. They're all locked up. These must be very, very sensitive coral harvest. Ha! Bust all my ass. Looks like years and years of coral harvest reports. Can't get in there with this. Looks like years and years of coral harvest reports. Ha! Bust all my ass. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to bust all that.
funny. The casting of Manny was it was tough because obviously you have I wanted to hire somebody who was legitimately Hispanic and not somebody putting on a fake accent.
Right. Oh, for sure.
And normally in a sort of a casting process, you'd sit down with the project leader and you'd probably have 5 to 10 candidates that you'd be looking at, and with Manny we had 2, and Tony was more Humphrey Bogart, and the other actor was more comedic, and I was terrified that Tim was going to go the comedic route because I thought Tony was the guy, and
Right.
I remember printing out resumes for the 2 guys, and Tony had a lot more experience. And then there was a really cool picture of Tony taken from Havana where he's sitting up at the bar, and he just looked cool. And I
Yeah.
made sure that went in too. And so just to help kind of push it in the direction I wanted it to go.
That's
good. It's the perfect voice.
Yeah, he's great.
That home plumbing sprinkler system looks like it's about to fall apart. Not picking that up. I can't reach that high. That home plumbing sprinkler system looks like it's about... This must be the big chipper. This must be the big chipper. This must be... Warning. Fire system. Do not touch. What's in these cases?
Take a look. It's all the double-end tickets Hector and Dom have stolen over the years. Each one stolen from a good soul, and now they just sit there.
That's it.
What?
They just sit there. That's what's been bothering me. In the days when I was a hot salesman, I used to see double-end tickets all the time, and they move.
What do you mean they move?
They become agitated around human souls, and the ticket that belongs to you will actually fly into your hand. But these tickets, and the tickets in that suitcase of Charlie's, it's like they're dead. Why would Hector and Domino be hoarding cases of counterfeit double-end tickets? Why would Hector and Domino be hoarding cases of counterfeit double-end tickets? Why would Hector and Domino be hoarding... That vent is the only way out of here that I can see. Not picking that up. I couldn't reach that vent, even if I stood on Mitch's shoulders.
Wouldn't it make more sense for me to stand on your shoulders anyway?
Are you kidding? Look at your heels. That home plumbing sprinkler system looks like it's about to fall apart. Doesn't look like she's cooled off yet. You know, we could die right here, in this safe.
Nice line. But we're already dead, remember?
Right. Thanks for not shooting me.
Look, I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. It's just that the past 2 years have been pretty tough, you know?
You look like you could use a nice ocean cruise.
Still my travel agent, eh?
You look like you could use a nice ocean cruise.
Still my travel agent, eh?
My scythe. I don't want to mess up my blade. My scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. Now, all we have to do is wait for the room to fill up, and we'll just float on out of here. Well, this is disappointing.
Not to me. We don't float, remember?
I couldn't even reach it with that. That vent is the only way out of here that I... Warning.
Thank you.
Not picking that up.
Oh, not again. Thank you. Oh, not again. Thank you. Oh, not again. Thank you.
This must be the big chipper. I don't want to bust all that. I don't want to bust all that. I can't reach that high. I don't want to bust all that. I don't want to bust all that. I can't reach that high. I couldn't even reach it with that. I couldn't even. I couldn't reach that vent. You look like you could use a knife.
Still. Oh, not a.
That thing is definitely not my size. I think that would just bring the whole ugly thing crashing down on me. You want a piece of calavera, suit? You want a piece of calavera, suit? Doesn't look like that thing is Looks like years and years. Looks like I messed up these Looks like years and years of coral harvest reports. Warning. Fires. Why would Hector and Domino? This must be that home plumbing sprinkler system. This must be the big chip. That home plumbing sprinkler system looks like it's about to fall apart. I couldn't even reach it with that. I couldn't even reach it with that. I don't want to mess up my.
Oh, not again.
I couldn't even reach it with that. My sight.
Oh, not again. Thank you.
I can't reach that high. Esa cosa is heavy. After you.
What about the suitcases?
Forget them. They're counterfeit. They wouldn't fit through this hole anyway. Let's go. Okay, you get the kids, and I'll meet you back here with the boat.
What boat?
Well, I'm working on that.
Okay, Manny.
I have to figure a way to launch that ship Gladys found. What I need is a giant stork to deliver that big baby right here. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen her in the sun before. I don't need to do that. She's already agreed to come with me. I swear I'll get us a boat.
Okay, Manny.
I swear I'll get us a boat.
Okay, Manny.
They must bring the core over here to be crushed. They must bring the core over here to be crushed. I don't want to bust all that. Those I'd be. Es enorme. How convenient. Uh-oh. You're okay.
Well, it hurt a little when I hit, but my head cracked open an aft panel here.
I gotta tell you, carnal, I thought you were dead.
Oh, Manny, I've been having a great time. Listen. I ask you, is there an engine that can resist the love that's in these hands?
Apparently not.
I remember being really, see how their hands kind of clip through their sleeves? I remember being really annoyed by that as an animator, having to settle to do it because you couldn't get the poses or the lines you needed without making things kind of collide. It's something we just had to kind of live with.
And something we still live with today.
So good to see him again. Not picking that up. I think this baby's our ticket out of here.
Oh yeah, good point. I was just wrenching it for fun, but your idea's good too.
I think this baby's our ticket out of here.
Oh yeah, good point. I was just wrenching it for fun, but your idea's good too.
That's as close to the edge as I want to be. That's not going to be as easy to climb up.
One thing that was a little weird on animating all this underwater stuff, when you animated a little section like Manny jumping off.
This is where people nowadays would be like, Tim, the ideas you have here about this conveyor belt where you can switch directions and rip a chain with a scoop, it's really complicated, and we could eliminate a lot of work if we just cut this one puzzle. But this is like, no, we went all the way and we fully implemented exactly what I hoped would happen. The conveyor belt would reverse direction, chain would go up and down, Manny would climb down and against the force of water, bunch up the chain. This is all so complicated. Oh, and you create a little loop. I was like, this all makes sense in my mind, so the player will be able to figure this out. Like the way that you looped it over that boat. I don't even know if that would work. That's like when you whip a hose to like get it uncaught when you're watering the plants in the backyard and your hose gets caught.
Right, yeah, do a little whiplash effect, yeah.
This old conveyor belt looks like it's about to fall apart. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nothing but dark waters that direction. Uh-oh. Es enorme. Uh-oh. That's the door to the cage. That's the door to the cage. Nobody there. Nobody there. That's a little bit of overkill considering it's not locked. No room. Nobody there. I like my old desk better. That's the door to the cage. That's the way out. That's the door to... Nobody there. Nobody there. Must be a combination lock, but there are no numbers on it. Poor Don was never good with... Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. This is Mitch's office door. It's empty. Children's books. It's locked. Nah, those kids would probably only want to... It's locked. Nah, those kids would probably only want to hear Mitchie read these books anyway. I don't want to bust all that. I don't want to mess up my blade. He seems I've got nothing to say to him. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat cat. The tumblers are all lined up, flush with the door jamb. The new airlock keeps out water, but not pesky skeletons. There are some more lights off this way. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. I'll bet all these miners were brought here by that little hammer's more than speed. So good to see him again. I think this baby's our ticket out of here.
Oh yeah, good point. I was just wrenching it for fun, but your idea's good too. They must bring the core over here to be crushed.
I don't want to bust all that. It's a bust. This scoop looks heavier than my last ship. I can see why they don't give these chisels to the new guys. This scoop looks heavier than my last ship. It's not a handheld device. It's not a handheld device. The scoop's learned its lesson. I don't want to mess up my blade.
Where's the boat? Miss Cullimer said we're going to ride in a boat. She said you were getting one.
Well,
Children, be patient. Mr. Calavera's a nice man, and he's trying to find us a boat right now, okay?
It won't be that long now. I promise.
Okay. Whoa!
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen her. I swear, wow, I don't think I've ever seen her in the sun before.
Tag, you're it!
It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. Es enorme. Es enorme. I can't believe I killed it. I can't believe I killed it. I don't need the hernia. Maybe if I had some giant steel hair to curl. Yeah, they are already hurting. They do not need the teachings of the Bostal. Yeah, they are already hurting. They do not need the teachings of the Bostal. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade. I can't believe I killed it.
Whee!
This scoop looks heavier than my last ship. I can't believe I killed it. It's the edge of the world, but not the edge I'm looking for. Ese no. Es enorme. How convenient. This old
Gladys, I'm so glad to see you.
Is the boat already?
Yeah, come on. Let's go eat some reef.
Works like crazy. Full speed ahead. What? Oh.
So are you really going to bring me back and try to get your old job again?
There's no job for me now except to bring you and everyone else here to the end of the road.
But if you aren't going to use me to get your job back, why did you spend all this time trying to find me?
Meche, I needed to find you.
I give you one job, Manny, and look at you, already screwing it up. I suppose you realize that this is gonna go down on your permanent record.
So, once in a while, if there was a solo part that we could get to be recorded by a real person, we would do that. But I don't know if you remember, we were kind of under a lot of schedule pressure with that.
I do remember some.
And people were like,
one late night or two. There was a late night or two.
And then there was like, you're spending $13,000 on live musicians? Are you crazy? So we were lucky we could do what we could do at all, but.
And look, where are those guys today? I don't even remember their names. And here we are. Here we are talking about Grimm.
Exactly.
Those guys are all dead. I'm sorry. I mean, I hope they're dead. I hope they're happy spending time with their families and no longer working on games. Which I think actually is true.
Domino's just the kind of guy to practice Oxford regulation boxing and then pull out a blade when it comes time to fight. I don't know any wrestling moves. I don't think my bare hands would be a match with that scythe of his.
It's hard to make them kiss because they have those.
They don't have lips.
Yeah.
They should have added like a knocking
Oh,
sound.
that would have been funny.
Awesome.
Bones kissing.
Yeah. Making out. Imagine what that sounds like with a bony face.
That's the squishiest looking periscope I've ever seen. I really prefer to use tongs when picking up octopus eyes. Hey, pull over, octopus. You're going too fast. Look, Dom, I'm not gonna work for you.
Oh, don't worry about that. You're fired. Just consider this your severance. What are you doing away from your desk anyway?
I'm sending this domino back to the bone pile.
Smart strategy, always let your boss win.
You know, your name is Domino, but you're really just a pawn.
Please, save the comic book one-liners for when you're winning. Just like with your selling, Manny, you got a weak attack and no follow-through. Hey, I'll stop anytime you get tired. Just please stay down this time. At least at the Christmas party, you passed out before you really got hurt. Had enough? Oh, please, Manny, stop showing off for the girl. Calavera, you're losing a fight, so you pick on one of my pets? Why aren't you more like me, Manny? I've been trying to show you how, but you don't listen. If you just adopt the proper attitude, just look what could happen to you.
Name?
Pugsy Pelagiano, sir.
Waiting room number 2. Next.
¡Glores! ¡Glores! ¿Estás bien? Glores? Where'd you go this time?
Alex, you had mentioned on our break that you were the master of playing through this game the most quickly.
That's right.
I think you should talk about that, because when I played this game, I think it took me a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing the remastered version to see how long it takes me. I think it'll be, 12 hours or more, but when we were in test, obviously we're playing it, every single day, so we know it inside and out, but when a brand new build came down, we always had to play through from beginning to end, and I was the person that always ended up doing that because I could do it the fastest, and I got down to just a little over an hour playthrough time. I want to say like an hour and 10 minutes was my fastest time. Yeah, it was something else. I mean, I knew the whole game, like instinctually, and now I barely remember any of it.
You must have been able to skip through cutscenes or something.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
and you can skip dialogue too.
I think the cutscene tape that we received, so we could watch them, I want to say it was almost 2 hours long.
Oh, it was cool. It was like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
That's really
good
cool.
Lord.
I'd like to watch that. I mean, I guess we're watching it right now.